Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Charles in Charge Cowboy Sports Report. It is May 16th, Tuesday, about 7:50 Central Time, my time, PM, 7:50 p.m. If you're watching this episode and you have not subscribed, please press that red subscribe button. It is free. If anything, it's an investment on your part. The bigger this channel gets, the better it'll get. Soon I'll get a mic so there will be no background noise. My first goal, like I keep saying every video, is to reach 1,000 by week 1, September 10th. When I reach 1,000, I'll be able to start putting back into this channel, get some studio equipment, make it more legit, get a nice desktop just for the channel so I can have film and, other stuff besides, right now it's just my Galaxy and I. So, yeah, when I reach 1,000, I'll be able to make this show a lot more cooler with the bells and whistles to go with what I have up here. And I am getting better with my Tourette's, not letting that affect my speech whenever I talk, opposed to like 6 months ago. Yesterday, actually a couple of days ago, I see Miami picks up Isaiah Wynn. A very, very good free agent offensive lineman. He played left tackle, played left guard, former Patriot. They signed him to a 1-year deal, $2.3 million, maximum $2.7 with incentives if he reaches all of his incentives. It's under $3 million, and he can play left guard at a higher level than Connor McGovern or Connor Williams could. And I'm looking at everything that we've done to get better. In the offseason, we re-signed our key defensive players in Leighton Vander Esch, Donovan Wilson, and company, and Dante Fowler, to keep the defensive nucleus intact. Only guy that we let walk is Carlos Watkins, I believe, on the defensive side of the ball. We didn't lose anybody, and that's the strength of our team is our defense. And then we had the Brandon Cooks rumors, since last season with Houston on the trade. But out of nowhere, we traded for Stephon Gilmore, who at 32 still has plenty of gas in the tank and could probably be our team's number 1 corner this year. I know Diggs is good and still getting better, but I think Gilmore's skill set and his physicality, he might be the number 1 corner on this team this season, which, will be good because it'll test Diggs, and I think maybe that's why we haven't done anything with Diggs' contract yet as far as an extension. He didn't get a lot of balls last year thrown his way because we had no cornerback 2. Anthony Brown for a couple games, and he's a cornerback 3 at best. So whenever he went down, how many guys we have trying to fill that hole? Like 5. We had KJ, Deshaun Wright, names are eluding me now. Guys that we had, picked up from free agency. Trayvon Mullen, Xavier something, and one other guy. I think we had like 5 guys try to fill that spot. And the guy that did the best job was Izzy Akwamu whenever we would put him there. But we signed Gilmore, and we traded for him, and that was huge. Only having to give a 5th-round pick for a corner that can still play top flight ball. And we make the trade for Brandon Cooks, just another 5th rounder. Have Houston eat a lot of that cap money, and so it was a great trade, low cost, to give us that receiver with speed that we haven't had since who? Who was the last receiver that we had that was a burner? you got to think back because it's been a while. Now, I know it's not as far back as Rocket Ishmael because I'm going back to that Joey Galloway, Rocket Ishmael type. But Cooks isn't as fast as Joey Galloway, but at his age right now, he still has the speed. Not as fast as he did when he came out of college, but he's not, far behind. He can still take the top off of defense, at any time. And everywhere he's went, he's been the number one receiver. He's the number one receiver at New Orleans. Then the Patriots wanted him. He was the number one receiver there. They went to a Super Bowl. He got a concussion in the first quarter. If he doesn't get that concussion, they probably beat Philly because he was their number one receiver there. Then the Rams wanted him. He goes to the Rams. He's the number one receiver for them. Makes Jared Goff look good. They make it to the Super Bowl. But that Patriots defense shut him down. Then he goes to Houston. He's the number one receiver there with Deshaun Watson, 1,000-yard receiver. Watson gets in trouble. Davis Mills is a rookie. He's a 1,000-yard receiver with him. And he would have been a 1,000-yard receiver with him last year if he would have played all season. Six out of his nine seasons, he reached over 1,000 yards. And has been the number one everywhere he's went. So this year he'll be like 1B to CeeDee Lamb's 1A. And Michael Gallup will be, wide receiver 3 on 2 legs this season. So we close the gap with Philly, talent-wise. Philly, loses Javon Hargrave, the first guy to be lost. He was ranked the number one free agent out of the top 101. So they get Jalen Carter to replace him. Philly with rookies aren't that good. Last year, Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean were basically non-existent. And they were, the 2 prize jewels of the draft that Philly fans were bragging on all offseason. You didn't see much of them. This year, it's Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith. You probably won't see a whole lot of Nolan Smith this season. And if Jalen Carter does play, he will not, be as good as Javon Hargrave at Hargrave's, talent level and experience now. It just ain't going to happen. TJ Edwards and Kazir White leave the top 2 linebackers. TJ Edwards, NFL leading tackler. So now their linebackers are Nicholas Morrow and Nakobe Dean. Nakobe Dean, who did nothing last season, they're putting their hopes that he can step up and make that linebacking core at least decent. We'll see. And safety, Marcus Epps, who's a pretty good, strong safety, and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson for a 3rd-round pick right before the season started was a steal. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was like Diggs in 21. I mean, I think he led the league in picks. I mean, he was intercepting everything that came his way. He goes to Detroit. So right now on the depth chart, you got Terrell Edmonds and Reed Blankenship as the starting 2 safeties, opposed to Marcus Epps and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Terrell Edmonds is all right. Reed Blankenship, he's just a guy. So their safety play will probably diminish, a good deal. Right now, Gainwell is number 1 on the depth chart as running back. Swift, number 2. They lose Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders has his best season last year. Swift was a great trade that Philly got in the draft for just a 4th-round pick, but he has never eclipsed 617 yards. And, I mean, that's the most he's gotten in a season. Pretty injury-prone. So you got Gainwell, Swift, Chris Carson, or Carson from Seattle, whatever his name is, and Boston Scott. They kept Quez as slot because, I mean, he's got blazing speed. Why not? People were questioning why they didn't go get another slot receiver. I'd have kept Quez myself also. Sam Jurgens, who's supposed to be Jason Kelsey's replacement at center, will be starting at right tackle this year. Rookie last year, drafted in the second round because of Isaac Samalu, go somewhere else. So we'll see how Sam Jurgens pans out at right guard when he's a true center. So they lost guys. They did a good job at replenishing, but the guys that they brought in to replace are not as good as the guys that they lost. The guys we lost was Carlos Watkins, Connor McGovern, Brett Maher, and Ezekiel Elliott. Luke Gifford also. So we make the move to get Gilmore and Cooks, splash plays. We signed Ronald Jones. I don't know why. I guess he's just like our break glass in case of emergency insurance policy at running back. I personally don't think Rojo has another 20 yards left in him. He had 2 carries, 17 yards last season on a team that the running back, position was wide open. And Pacheco, 7th round pick, took it from everybody. We have $10.5 million in cap space right now. And we have another 10 coming June 1st. Zeke's money. Miami signs Isaiah Wynn for under $3 million to a 1-year deal. And he can plug that left guard spot really well. Right now we have Dalton Risner, who is a free agent still. He's ranked number 41 out of the top 101 free agents when free agency started. He's been above average his entire career. Better than McGovern, better than Williams. Why play games and, see if Tyler Bass or Asim Richards or Chuma Aduga or Josh Ball or Matt Willetsko can plug that left guard spot, or Terrence Steele. The talk of Terrence Steele playing left guard is a waste of air. That's Jerry Jones probably trying to, get Steele onto a cheaper contract. Right now, the top right tackles are $20.3 million, I believe. So, Cowboys just quit dicking around and just, sign Terrence Steele coming off injury. It's perfect time. Save 5 years, $60 million, $12 million a year. When he was playing last season, he was one of the premier right tackles in the league. That is a steal. All from that offer sheet right now. $5 million, 5 years, $60 million. Say 25 guaranteed, or half of it guaranteed. Because he's only, 20, 21, 22, 20. He's going in his 5th year. No, he's going into his 4th year. Still very young. I believe he will recover from this tear, and he'll recover 100%. Not week 1, but during the season, he'll get back to 100%. So, our holes right now: left guard, power back, kicker. Why not just go out there, sign Dalton Risner to a 1-year deal? Maybe Asim Richards, who can flex to left guard, is our future left guard. Maybe he is. But why, take that chance and go into training camp and let guys battle it out? And then maybe none of them are very good at left guard, and you got to start playing musical chairs, Right now, our depth chart says Tyron Smith, left guard, Tyron Smith, left tackle, Tyler Smith, left guard, Beadash, Martin, and Steele. That 5 sounds great. It does. That starting 5 sounds awesome if Tyron Smith could play a full season. But unless they know something we don't, unless he had some off-season treatment or some type of surgery that'll keep him intact, he will not last a full season. By the 7th week, he's going to be hurt. We're going to need a damn good swing tackle. Maybe Asim Richards can be that good swing tackle for us, and maybe that will be our starting 5. Right now, Terrence Steele is projected to be ready for week 1. He's working out well. He's moving well. if he's moving well and looking good already, and it's only May, you still got June, July, August. So I mean, you still got a good 3.5 months, 4 months to go. I think Steele will be ready week 1. Probably won't be 100%, but that's okay. We're playing the Giants. He can hold his own. But why not just go sign Dalton Risner? Go sign Dalton Risner. 1 year deal. So Tyler can just stay at left tackle, where he will become a perennial all-pro player like Tyron Smith is. And Ty Smith, in case Steele, isn't ready week 1, can be at right tackle. And Risner can be at left guard. And be it Ash, who had really upped his play last season, playing in a contract year this year. He's going to be putting his best ball out there. We might be seeing shades of 72. You never know. They're both from Wisconsin. That and Power Back. Yes, Tony Pollard had an injury, fractured his leg in the playoffs. It was a clean break. He did have to have surgery, but he'll be ready in a couple weeks for OTAs. He won't be like super ginger like everybody's thinking. Everybody's in their mind thinking that Tony Pollard is going to be like Michael Gallup was last season. He's not. Tony Pollard, especially training camp week 1, will be the Tony Pollard we knew last season. And Deuce Vaughn will make the team. He'll be the jitterbug type back, that small guy that you lose and can bust it for long gains. And, I mean, the kid is tough. I mean, you see what he squats, what he benches. He can get tough yards too, but we need that power back that can also pass protect. Why keep playing around and let Zeke, I mean, he's still not signed. Draft is over. Why not bring him in for a cup of coffee? Sign him to a 1 year deal, vet minimum, with incentives, maybe up to $5 million with incentives if he reaches said incentives. That right there, you're looking, I mean, you probably get Risner for $3 million. You're looking at $8 million total right there between those two guys. When you got over $20 million in cap space, I would prefer Zeke as power back over Lenny Fournette, of course, over the rookie, the UDFA Hunter Lupiki. I like him. I like to see what he become. But this team is I've got something going on my throat though. Not just Tourette's, just a little cough. Elliott would be, he knows the team. Everybody likes him. He's a leader in the locker room. He's still got that pop and that power to where he can get that 3rd and 1, that 4th and 1. In the 4th quarter, he can get them tough 3-4 yard runs, and he can really still pass protect with the best of them. Why not bring him in for a cup of coffee? Get him and Dalton Risner signed just so there's no question marks. What if these 5 guys, don't play well at left guard? And then, we got to start playing musical chairs. Sign a true left guard. Where there's just one left right now. Get him while he's there. Because Isaiah Wynn is not there anymore. And Miami got him for, pennies on the dollar. And he's very good offensive lineman on the left side. And then kicker. Bones Fossil says anybody on earth right now is, available to compete for the job. What's wrong with Brett Maher? Brett Maher had one freak-out game at Tampa in the wild card round, missing all 4 of his extra points. It didn't hurt us, though, because we routed Tampa Bay. San Fran, the first extra point, got blocked. After that, he made his 2 field goals. He made his 2 field goals at San Fran outside door stadium. During the season, he wasn't Brett the Fret no more. He was Money Maher. His accuracy matched his power. He was great last season. I think he should have made All-Pro. He was excellent. He makes a game winner against Cincinnati. His confidence starts building. He's a better kicker than he was 5 years ago at Minnesota right before halftime. It's 17-3. He knocks in that 60-yarder to make it 20-3. For some reason, the defense was not set or did, some BS thing to where he had to kick it again. And we're like, man, he just made that 60-yarder. he probably won't make it back-to-back. And the second time, he drills it again, right down the middle. Probably would have been good for, from 70. He makes back-to-back 60-yarders. That was his 4th 60-plus yard field goal in his career. He has probably the strongest leg of any kicker in the league besides Justin Tucker. And with, the right coaching, he's got Bones Fossil, the best special teams coach out there, could probably become one of the best kickers out there. I know we got Mason Crosby, Robbie Gould as, free agents, but Brett Maher was good last year. He just had one freak-out game. And they were extra point kicks, extra points. It didn't hurt us. And then at San Fran, he did make his 2 field goals. So I hope Brett Maher comes out for training camp, competes for the job, and just blows everybody away. Because nobody's talking about him. It's like everybody done forgot what he did last season. He was damn good, and he's really good with the field goals out of 50-plus yards. And I believe a few of these games this season, against Philly, against Buffalo, against San Fran, those long field goals are going to be very, very key. Every point's going to count. And we need a kicker that has a leg that can get it done from a long distance at a high percentage. And that is Brett Maher. Money Maher now. Just forget about the Tampa Bay game. Every kicker has in their career has a crazy game like that. We've seen it happen time in and time out. That's what I think we should do right now before training camp, going into OTAs. Why go into training camp with question marks when you got the cap money to get these guys on 1-year deals and it won't affect the cap next year? So why not go do it? I would love it if Asim Richards, our 5th round pick for North Carolina, is, left guard and plays at a great level. He's a good run blocker. So is TJ Bass, the UDFA left guard that we brought in. But so is Dalton Risner, and he's experienced, and you ain't got to worry about him. And he can plug and play at left guard and play better than both Connors could the last 5 years. And then you've got so much flexibility on the O-line. The O-line coach we brought in from Seattle is one of the best out there behind Mike Munchak. Mike Munchak is the best O-line coach. But this guy from Seattle, I can always forget his name, he ain't no joke. He knows what he's doing. And I bet you if it was his call, he would go out and get Dalton Risner right now, just so he knows that he's got insurance on this line so he could be top-notch. We've done so much already. We're this close. Might as well just finish it. So we go into training camp with no weaknesses. We'll see. Maybe that's the plan. Maybe it's not. Mike Fisher seems to think not. But also Mike Fisher had no idea that we were going to trade for a corner. And then one day, out of nowhere, Stephon Gilmore's a Cowboy. We led the league in takeaways 2 straight years. I think we could do it for the 3, possibly with Diggs getting a whole lot of balls thrown his way this year, unlike last year. And back to that, that's probably why he hasn't been signed to an extension yet, because they want to see this year, year 4, him getting targeted a lot more than last year if he can be that shutdown corner that he looked like last year. Because last year he did a good job playing shutdown. I mean, against Minnesota, matched up against Justin Jefferson. Jefferson had like his worst game of the year. All the top-notch receivers he went against last year, he did a good job. But this season, he'll be tested more than he has in his NFL career. I think teams will stay away from Gilmore more than they will Diggs because they believe Diggs will take the bait. If he's learned not to, if he's smart about it, then he can be that shutdown guy with great hands. We will see. That is yet to be determined. What else did I want to touch on? Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I've been my first game, Super Bowl 28 against Buffalo. I was 6-7. I remember we were down 13-6 at halftime. Said one of my first prayers that night. We come back and win 30-13. I always make a joke the Cowboys led me to Christ because I thought my prayer was the reason why we won. I really did. I thought, thanks to me, my prayer, God made the Cowboys win. After that, I fell in love that night. Watched from the 94 season on. And in third grade was a 95 season. I remember that season like the back of my hand. This roster is the best roster I've seen since that 95 season. It's better than the 07 roster, which produced 13 Pro Bowlers. I know you don't remember that. It's better than the 2014 roster, where we had like a better offensive line in the 90s. Better than the 2016 roster, where we had the rookie phenoms. Better than the 2018 roster, where we had the great running game, good defense, and then Amari Cooper, mid-season opens up the passing offense, and better than the last 2 years. 21, we got better. Last year we got better, and this year we are closing the gap to finally get to where we haven't been since 95, at least a championship game. We're getting there minimum. I already did my game-by-game prognostication, 14-3. I guarantee we win no less than 13 games this year. I guarantee no less than 12 last year. Everybody said I was crazy because we had lost Cooper, we had lost La'el Collins, we had lost Randy Gregory. All we did is bring on Dante Fowler. We got worse. Horrible offseason. Everybody was saying I was just a homer for saying we would win at least 12 games. I was dead right on that, and we should have won 14. 2 blown leads. That's what happens. Watching that Jacksonville game, I remember I had to go to Buffalo Wild Wings because we were blacked out here in Houston. I was sitting next to a guy wearing a Leighton Vander Esch jersey, and around the second quarter, we started taking control of the game. We started relaxing. We started really kicking back, having fun, getting loud, joking, and talking. Third quarter, it's looking good, And then we're already starting to talk about the next game, Christmas Eve against Philly. It's gonna be for the division because we're gonna be one game apart. Our record's gonna be one game apart. And if we beat if we beat Philly, on that Christmas Eve game, we have a better division record. We're gonna be number 1 in the East because we thought we had the Jacksonville game wrapped up. Then the fourth quarter comes. Man, I had never been so deflated in my life. I don't even think that guy and I said bye to each other. Because, we were going to exchange numbers. He was going to, sub to the show and everything. And, we were going to be Cowboy friends. And, man, we went from so high to so low right after that first overtime drive, pick 6. I didn't even really care about the Christmas Eve game after that because I knew we weren't going to win the division. Eagles were not going to lose out. I knew we were going to be the 5 seed. That's where Stephon Gilmore comes in big time this season. With Gilmore, we don't blow the lead at Green Bay or Jacksonville. In this season, Dan Quinn's third year, this defense, especially with Mozzie Smith and the rookie Valimi Fehoko Jr., who's now 280 pounds. He was 270 in the combine. Plans to put on 5 to 10 more pounds. Same size as Michael Bennett, Dan Quinn's favorite defensive end from Seattle. Those two linemen as rookies will make an impact. And so will Overshawn. Those three guys will be rookie playmakers for us on the defensive side of the ball. And I break historical single-season defenses into two tiers. You got tier number one. That's the Steel Curtain, 70s Pittsburgh, the 85 Bears, and the 2000 Ravens. Those three defenses are in the first tier of best single-season defenses ever. Then you got the second tier. That's like the 02 Bucks, the 99 Bucks. I think the 99 Bucks defense was better. If you go look at that 99 Bucks defense, I know they didn't win the Super Bowl, but they were one game away from it, and they held the greatest show on turf to 13 points. It was 6-9 up until like 2 minutes left in that game, and Kurt Warner hit Ricky Frohl on a crazy lucky pass. I mean, that Tampa Bay defense held that greatest show on turf to 6 points for 58 minutes. That 99 Tampa defense was damn good. But the 02 Bucks, the 2013 Seahawks, the 2015 Broncos, those are the second tier, great single season defenses. I think this season the Cowboys have a shot to be the Legion of Doom. That's probably what the name will be, because Legion of Boom was Seattle. Cowboys had the Doomsday defense. Legion of Doom seems like it would fit a mix of Dan Quinn and the Cowboys, putting a name together for this particular defense. I think this season they could be historically good and could be the main reason why we get to where we get to. This West Coast offense will be a run-first offense. We know that Dak Prescott's not a prolific passer. That's why Kellen Moore is gone. He kept reverting to, let's have Dak throw 40, 45 times a game. Whenever Dak went down week 1 and Cooper Rush came in, Kellen Moore drew up the perfect game plan. Run the ball, play physical, let the defense do what they do, and don't make any mistakes, Rush. Don't give the ball to the other team. And he didn't. He didn't play outside of his, abilities. And we won 4 in a row. We beat Cincinnati at home. We go to the 2-0 Giants, knock them off. We go home, knock Washington off. We go to the Rams and beat them by 2 scores. And then at Philly, Cooper Rush really wanted to win that game, so he uncharacteristically was making bad throws in the first quarter. 3 first-quarter turnovers, but in the fourth quarter, he makes it a 17-20 game with a touchdown pass to Ferguson. One defensive stop after that, Cooper Rush will take the lead and make that game 24-20. Kellen Moore was calling great games then. Then when Dak comes back from injury, he's keeping it the same because his thumb ain't all the way healed up yet. And then for some reason, he just reverts back to pass first. And then that's when the interceptions start coming at Green Bay. Those 2 picks in the first half. If we don't do that, we blow Green Bay out. Thanksgiving, those 2 interceptions. We're just lucky we were that much better than the Giants. Houston, Dak had an interception way deep in our territory. We were just lucky that we were that much better than Houston to pull that out. And then at Jacksonville, they scored a touchdown, pulled in 10 in the fourth quarter, and then Dak throws an interception deep in our territory so they can pull within 3. And then it was a ball game. Instead of keeping the ball on the ground, chewing up the clock, Kellen Moore wanted to pass. And then at San Fran, same thing. I know Tony Pollard went down on second. He got 8 yards at 2nd and 2. Tony Pollard goes out. He's done. You still got Zeke and Malik Davis. Malik Davis was in pads. 2nd and 2. Why not run and get that first down? Or do a play action naked boot and let Dak run to get the first down instead of going 5 wide. That's Kellen Moore's mindset. 2nd and 2. Pollard just got hurt. Go 5 wide and pass the ball. Makes no sense. That's not Dak's strength. He's a game manager, A++. And that's what Mike McCarthy and Brian Schottenheimer are going to make this offense West Coast style. Run first. Have Dak be game manager. And one way or another, they'll get the offensive line having the best 5 out there. A good starting 5. And that's probably why we drafted Luke Schoonmaker in the 2nd round, because he is a good blocking tight end. I mean, better than the guys we got now. Better than Jason Witten was as a blocker. I mean, the kid can block his ass off. He's not the best receiver, but he's an extension of their offensive line. And I believe that's why we took him in the 2nd round, because he will make this West Coast offense run first work the way they want it to work that much better. And then, Ferguson can block pretty good too, but he can also ball out in the air, and so can Hendershot. Ferguson was, from Wisconsin? And, he said on 1st down they'd block, 2nd down they'd block, 3rd down they'd block also. So, yeah, that's just my take right now. It's kind of in limbo. Rookie minicamp, going on. OTAs coming up. But I would just like to go out and just fill the gaps now. Why wait till training camp? We got the cap money. Go do it. And Elliott be wearing number 15 with a chip on his shoulder, man. Him and Tony Pollard and Deuce Vaughn would make a great trio in the backfield. They really would. Tony Pollard get his 15 carries a game. Zeke get his 15 a game. And Deuce Vaughn get his 5 to 10 carries a game. There's your 40 carries right there. And then, Elliott won't get worn down as the season goes along, as he has been the last few years, because we got that 3rd back in Vaughn to carry some of the load. He will make the team. The late 6th round picks aren't locks, but I'm pretty sure he will make the team. That's it for this episode. Just touched on a few things. Not really a real topic like most of my shows, but just kind of venting and what I would like to see right now. And that's about it. And Washington could surprise this season. Their lineup, they got running back Brian Robinson. They got 3 receivers: Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuels, and Jahan Dotson. Pretty good wide receiving trio. Logan Thomas, a good tight end. The offensive line is not very good, though. It's a problem. Andrew Noel, the left guard, Pro Bowl left guard, is hurt. But the defense, Montez Sweat, Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen. If Chase Young can have a resurgent season, that defensive line will be something. Jamin Davis has become, a good linebacker. Kendall Fuller, and with pick 16, they got Emmanuel Forbes. If he could step up in the secondary, that would be something. Their safeties, I've never even heard of them. Ward and Derek Forrest. And we'll see if Deontay Banks can help out that secondary for the Giants. He might, be like Forbes and go through, what rookies go through. You know what I mean? Not everybody's a Sauce Gardner in their rookie season. They got, they signed, Giants signed Alshon Robinson to rotate, in that defensive tackle scheme. He's not in his prime, but he's still pretty good. So in the starting lineup, 3 linemen: Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence, Alshon Robinson. More of a 3-4 scheme they got going on with Thibodeau and Aziz Ajular, I guess you could say, as the edge guys. And Bobby Okereke in the middle. And then the third cornerback they have is Cordell Flott. I've never heard of him. I know they lost Julian Love in the offseason, but their safeties, Xavier McKinney, Bobby McCain, pretty solid. Problem with the Giants is they have like 7 wide receiver threes. They have no alpha male wide receiver. Darren Waller, you could say, is like Travis Kelce is for KC, but he's very injury prone. Their rookie tight end they had last year played pretty good. He'll be ready to step up, as tight end 1 if Waller goes down. But right now, on the depth chart is Darius Slayton, Isaiah Hodgins, and Wan'Dale Robinson. Paris Campbell and Jalen Hyatt, aren't on the starting lineup. Jalen Hyatt is just kind of the exact replica of Paris Campbell and Darius Slayton. Probably won't get a whole lot of playing time this season. Third round pick out of Tennessee, but we'll see. They'll have to battle it out. But they need a number 1 receiver. The Giants do, for that offense to really come together. Evan Neal going into a second year at right tackle, and then John Smith's, best center in the draft they got. Their other 3 guys, Andrew Thomas, left tackle, pretty good, but their guards are shaky at best. Saquon hasn't signed his tag yet. It's something to keep an eye on. He wants X amount of dollars. They only want to pay X amount of dollars. So we'll see what happens with that. But that's it for this episode, guys. Thanks for watching. Please hit that subscribe button, guys. It's free. I guarantee you, when I hit 1,000 subscribers, this channel will transform into something really cool, and you will be entertained. I guarantee you that. You will be entertained. I finally got my line. Everybody's got a line. Law has his. Fish has his. Holmes has his. Mine is first-class content all day, every day. That's what you'll get from me. You won't get any half-ass, lazy, whatever. Anytime I cut a video, I put time into it. I put my time and effort into this. So please press that red subscribe button, guys. You will not regret it. In this season, man, it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be on the popping. If y'all get me to 1,000 by September 10th, it's really gonna be on the popping then. I guarantee you that. Keep God first and foremost. He comes before everything, even this. Seek Him in His righteousness, and everything else in your life will fall into place. I'm a living testimony of that. I need to get a microphone ASAP because you can probably hear my kids in the background. Once I get that mic, you won't hear no more background noise. It'll be a lot better. But y'all have a good week, guys. It's Tuesday. Have a good rest of the week, and enjoy the summer. And we'll see what happens in OTAs, or who makes in this division. We'll see who makes the next move. Hopefully it's us. We see Miami just take Isaiah Wynn off the free agent list for under $3 million. Go get Dalton Risner. Just offer him $3 million off the top. I guarantee you he takes that. And just bring in our power back. And have Hunter Lupicki as our, running back number 4/fullback. with Zeke as our power back. And bring Brett Maher back as kicker. That's it for this episode, guys. I'll catch you on the flip side. God bless all of y'all, Cowboys Nation. Love y'all, guys. Y'all keep it real. I'll see y'all soon. Charles and Charges out.